Hello! If you've been to my channel before, you may have seen me compare Palpatine from The Rise of the Skywalker and Ghidorah from Godzilla King of the Monsters. I originally made the comparison because I thought it would be funny to compare two completely different characters that just happened to both use lightning. But the more I compared, the more I found to compare. And the more I found to compare, the more suspicious I got, which led me to make this video. So, without further ado, let's get comparing. Ghidorah, an old enemy once thought defeated but now returned, is faced down by Godzilla and Mothra, only to find a new source of power and drain it. Palpatine, an old enemy once thought defeated but now returned, is faced down by Rey and Kylo Ben, only to find a new source of power and drain it. We look down upon Ghidorah, watching as the city is drained of electricity. We look down upon the throne, watching flashing lights. Ghidorah shoots lightning into the sky, giving us this glorious shot of the city, every inch of the screen filled with detail. Palpatine shoots lightning into the sky, giving us this glorious shot of not a lot really. Most of the screen is void of anything. We're shown Ghidorah's lightning bouncing between aircraft, destroying the smaller ones and damaging the larger one. We're shown Palpatine's lightning bouncing between spacecraft, destroying some and only damaging others. Mothra stands up to Ghidorah, only to be blasted away for her troubles and killed. Kylo Ben stands up to Palpatine, only to be blasted away for his troubles and, presumably, killed. Godzilla accepts the power of his fallen hero, becoming more powerful than ever before. Rey accepts the power of her fallen heroes, becoming more powerful than ever before. Ghidorah shoots lightning at Godzilla, only for Godzilla to tank it and begin disintegrating Ghidorah. Palpatine shoots lightning at Rey, only for Rey to tank it and begin disintegrating Palpatine. Godzilla kills Ghidorah, exploding him and destroying the surrounding area. Rey kills Palpatine, exploding him and destroying the surrounding area. Godzilla appears dead, but it's a fake out and he's fine. Rey appears dead, but it's a fake out and she's fine. It makes sense that Ghidorah returned to fight another day. There's not much known about his previous defeat, considering how long ago it was, but it's clear he survived and is still a threat. His presence is not only feasible, but set up in previous films. Palpatine, on the other hand, was definitely killed. If the massive fall that he took didn't kill him, he blew up. Twice. There was no mention of him in previous films, and his return made no sense in the story. The monsters in the Monsterverse are established as being able to feed off radiation. Ghidorah specifically is clearly fond of electricity, so his draining the power grid is logically and mechanically sound. The Force Dyad comes out of nowhere and retcons previously established mechanics. Palpatine being able to drain said dyad, or force, or life, whatever it is he's sucking out of them, is, again, not set up and doesn't make mechanical sense. The overhead shot in King of the Monsters allows the audience to see all the lights going out, and, therefore, understand exactly what Ghidorah is doing. The overhead shot in Rise of Skywalker doesn't really show or tell us anything. Ghidorah shoots lightning into a sky filled with annoying and possibly dangerous threats. His lightning was shown to strike and knock around the good guy's large aircraft in a previous scene. Therefore, his supercharged lightning would absolutely damage that same aircraft, and, logically, destroy any smaller ones. Palpatine shoots lightning into a sky filled with enemy and friendly spacecraft, but somehow only hits the enemy craft. In a previous scene, a smaller, briefer lightning strike destroyed a spacecraft. Now, much stronger and much longer lasting lightning is destroying some spacecraft, but only damaging others. The only determinant is whether the spacecraft have main characters in them or not. Mothra's death serves a purpose. It buys Godzilla time to recover, but also showers him in her radioactive pollen. This gives Godzilla an additional power boost because he can absorb her radiation, and it appears to give him some form of control of his current overload. Why this happens is kept vague, but a line can be drawn between this and what happens next. Kylo Ben's fake death is random and doesn't achieve much beyond getting him out of the way for later, and it shouldn't have been a fake out. Between his velocity and the impacts, both seen and unseen, he absolutely should have died. Rey becoming more powerful because she heard voices in her head is, again, random and mechanically unsound, with no setup in previous scenes or films. Godzilla exploding Ghidorah coincides with the notion that both these monsters are supercharged. Breaking Ghidorah open releases that power explosively, kind of like what Godzilla was doing, but in a less controlled manner, and without the help of Mothra. Even Godzilla stepping on Ghidorah's chest was shown to be something Godzilla did to his opponents in the previous film. His death and survival could both be believed given the circumstances, and ultimately, the fake-out was a cheeky added touch to the scene. Palpatine exploding was also set up in a previous film, and being overpowered as he is, it makes sense the explosion caused damage. Granted, this begs the question, what did the other explosion mean? Plus, Rey blowing him up doesn't make a lot of sense, especially since Palpatine clearly isn't using his lightning anymore. Did Rey generate the lightning? Did she know she was doing that? And then she falls over dead because... And then Kylo Ben resurfaces and manages to heal her because... Rey's death and revival epitomizes the issues not only with how her scene works, but how it came to be at all. Everything about the King of the Monsters ending is set up in some form or another from earlier scenes or films, and delivers a believable, invested ending to the film. Very little about the end of The Rise of the Skywalker is set up. Most everything is made up, causing confusion and a lack of investment in what's going on. The real hammer blow comes with knowledge in the meta. The main villain of the piece, Palpatine, wasn't even confirmed to be in the film until late in production. Potentially, the public knew he was in the film about the same time as the people making it. This then lends credence to the idea that very late into production, someone saw King of the Monsters, liked the ending, and copied it over to Rise of Skywalker without really understanding all the components. This explains why new abilities randomly appear, why certain camera angles are used meaninglessly, and why some things just happen. The original context is gone, left behind in another, better film. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this as enlightening as I did when I first noticed the similarities. I'm sure there's going to be some opinions on this, so feel free to share them in the comments. Whilst you're there, give us a like, and why not share the video around as well. Links to my Patreon and Etsy store will be in the description as always. Once again, thank you for watching.